time for all things racing and Jesus with your hosts, Daniel Hillian and Mitch Reynolds.
What up, what up, what up? It is episode 66 coming off the heels of a fantastic round 1 and 2 from Just Passing Through Raceway of the NE-EDT series. And as always, got to bring in the fellas. That's right, that's plural. Little change up tonight across the table from me. The number 927-24. Landon Williams. What's up, my man, Lando?
Not too much, man. Getting brought in first this time. That's just
Yeah,
that's
doesn't
crazy.
it feel good?
No, yeah, kind of.
Feels good. And somewhere out and about in the abyss is the Rocket, Mitchell Reynolds. Mitch, what's up, my man?
What's up? I guess it still feels good to be on the podium, though. You know, I mean, because there's nobody else behind me, but usually I get intro first, but second will work. At least I'm here. That's the main thing.
That's the main thing. Yeah. And we're glad you're here. Yeah, we had kind of lined up, hey, man, we're going to do this tonight. And then you were like, ooh, I may have something going on. And we said, hey, we'll do whatever it takes to make it work. So you're in the car zooming in tonight. And Landon and I are here in the closet. And you know what? We're going to talk some EDT racing. How does that sound?
Let's do it. Let's talk about some just passing through NE-EDT racing.
Let's do it, man.
It was hot, baby. It's good.
It was some hot racing, but the weather, man, was great. Landon and I, you were there the whole time. I had to jet out a little early, but right off the top, man, big shout out to Eric Ashcraft, man, bringing everyone the live feed and the comments. Everybody loves Eric. It's so much fun. I got to call the race Friday night, the little one-off thing that Just Passing Through went through. We'll talk about it. And along with Eric Ashcraft is Close Encounter Whitetail Outfitters. Hit up Eric. He can get you hooked up for a hunt this fall. And he's wheeling, he's dealing. I'm rocking the Dragon Race Fuel. I'm running, I think it's the Talon. Starts with a T. I don't know. I ran some. Tarragon. Yep. That's it.
Tarragon. Yep, come on with it.
Tarragon 110, ran it this weekend in the Mighty TRX at the cross country. It ran so good, I ran out of fuel. So we'll get into it, but got to thank those guys off the top. 88 Live to Ride, all-terrain motorsports, man, just a few. So, hey, let's get into some Just Passing Through. Now, there was three things going on this past weekend, and we tried to make sure everybody knew. I think all of our listeners will know what's going on, but Friday night was the Tennessee State Championship that Just Passing Through, they hosted, they put it on, and they invited the 70 cc's, the Open C, and the Plus 25 to come and be a part of it and put up $3,000 divided between the three classes, 500 for the winner, 300 for second, 200 for third. And, man, it was hot. It was some good racing. The temperature I was freezing to death on top of the camper with Eric, dude. It got cold. I almost fell off because my legs were shivering. But it was a good time. The 70 class, oh, man, our number one guy. We love him. The fans love him. Anthony Dorick was just on rails, man. It was unbelievable. Now, I can't remember which.
Boy was pitching it sideways.
Yeah.
He was
So I think it was Friday night or Saturday, but he just starts slowing down, and it looked like he had blown a tire off the rim, but they spun a hub on the axle, like the hub stripped out. And so every time he'd gas it, only one tire was digging in, and we're trying to figure out, and so we was able to catch up with him afterwards. But Anthony got the Friday night win, followed by Bowman and Graham, and those two guys had a pretty good battle. You know, Anthony, man, dude, he's such a cool dude. I was rocking my 500 performance hat here a couple days ago, thinking about him, and man, he's crushing it right now. And so it was cool to see him come out and make it happen there on Friday night. Then we jumped over to the man across the table from me. Great story. I think we can share this story on the pod because it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Mainly because the guy brought it up. But Derek Flinchum, man, awesome guy. We love Derek. Just checked out. Landon, he checked out on you.
He did. Yeah.
He they made them take the Joker lane, which was super cool. In the open C class, these guys start jumping into the Joker, and Eric and I are losing our minds. We're like, what are they doing?
I think one of them went off in the woods.
One of them's still back there.
May still be back there.
We saw like three riders all take it at the same time, and only 2 came back, and we never saw the other one again. So somewhere between Cooksville and Sparta, Tennessee, there's a C rider out there somewhere. Nobody knows. But man, it was so. Yeah, Mitch, he's just out there. Like, we could hear him revving, everyone panic rev middle of the night. We're like, oh, it's just that C rider out there. But Derek, man, he
on the stump or something.
Yeah, for sure. Also, they didn't realize that the Joker lane is a double. It's not a tabletop.
Yeah,
and one
guy, it's not. So this double, it's not like you can really roll it.
No,
it looked like they built the tabletop and went in and just took a front end loader and just scooped the middle right out.
Yeah.
It's
needed some more dirt.
Just straight down on both sides. It kind of reminds me of the pit bike track that Mitch had in his front yard.
Yeah, you got to use the extra dirt.
Yeah, you do
for more jumps. So
yeah,
you don't need that dirt in between because you're jumping over that.
Yeah,
That's
so
right.
there was no room for casing it. Now, I mean, we're not talking about a big jump, but for somebody that's maybe never jumped before, Daniel Hillian over here,
That's me. What's up?
It could be intimidating.
Yeah, and a C guy thought he was going to roll it, and he just died right there. They just put up a headstone. So we've got a grave in the Joker lane, and then a C rider still out in the backwoods of Tennessee somewhere. But Derek and that plus 25 dude, he put his head down. He got a good start, and he just waited to the very, very end to take the Joker. Yep. And because of that, the number 2 and the number 3 spot were battling.
Yeah,
to the death.
And I was doing my screaming, and so this is the funny story. Tyler Spivey, great guy. I got to know him a little bit over the weekend and everything. Yep. And
riding Bobby Fannon's old bike, by the way.
Yes.
Because when I saw it, I was like, oh, there's like Bobby Fannon's. He goes, yeah, it's Bobby's old bike. So, anyways, go ahead.
So that's kind of my trademark is I scream at people, yell at them, whatever.
Cross-country guy.
Yeah. And he comes up to me after the race, and like you said, we had a great battle. It was awesome. And he comes up and he was like, hey, man, I'm deaf, but I can still hear you. And me and Daniel just lost it, but like you said, great sport. He come up and talked to me about it, and I was just
He came up, and it was so funny. He goes, hey, you finished third, right? And Lane said, yeah, that's me. He said, well, I got second. I want to let you know, like, I'm legally deaf. Like, he wears a cochlear implant, and he was showing us, and Tyler, super cool guy. He said, hey, I just want to let you know I'm deaf, but I could still hear you screaming at me over the sound of the four-wheelers. And we laughed, and Tyler was, again, super good sport about it, but it was the funniest. Hey, Landon, you remember when you were yelling at the deaf guy?
Yeah, I think I got a couple other comments on my screaming over the weekend.
Yeah, even the deaf can hear this guy.
I think Brandon Ditto was asking Dylan Murdoch. He was like, dude, do you hear the constant high-pitched scream in the back? And he's like, yeah, that's just Landon. Don't worry about him, man.
Yeah, dude, that plus 25, there's some really good guys. Yeah. Derek's a good guy. Tyler, Brandon, Dylan, there's a lot of fun guys in there. And they were having there was good battles all over the track, man.
Yeah, we had a great time.
Hey, Super D, will you turn Landon up a little bit or get him to lean a little closer to the mic? I'm having a little trouble hearing him.
Okay. Yeah, I could do that. Okay, we can do that.
Yep.
Yeah, but it was a good time. We had a lot of fun with it, and anyway, plus 25 was great. Any other? And you brought home a little. You bought me Taco Bell.
I did. Out of the kindness of my own heart.
You sure did. What a sweetheart. And then we had the open C class, and I just gotta say it. Cross country cross training's where it's at because my boy took home the win. He's an XC guy. So just let the record show. Let the record show.
They put a little cheek in the armor there with the cross country. Hey, the key is the cross training is the key. So today we will just agree there because I don't want to lose.
Yeah. But but we addressed this on the live feed. You can go back and watch it. But but just to recap, when Bryce came in, he's 15, and so by the rules, and you can go read the press release they just put out. If you're 15 and riding a 450, there's only 2 classes that are available for you to ride in. You can ride the junior 12 to 15 class, or you can ride Open C, or both. You can ride both.
Yeah.
That's kind of how they've done the classes this year. Is they've set it up so every person can run 2 classes, basically an age class and like a skill class. I guess what you'd call it, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It ends up being sometimes you get a lot of the same guys, but in this junior class, you know, some of the Pro Light 250 guys can also run this class, you know, so it kind of mixes it up a little bit. Some of the 200, 400 guys can run in here, and there's a few Open C guys. But anyways, the point is when Bryce went to sign up, his dad's like, hey, where do we put him? And so Landon, we were looking, we're like, well, he only has 2 options. And so he goes out, and man, Bryce has been riding he came out of the womb riding. Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, Tony, his mom, was like, okay, he's here, put him on a quad. You know, they've been racing the woods a lot. They're just dipping their toe into some TT racing. And so when he goes up and goes, hey, what do we do? And they say, well, he can only run these 2 classes. So they put him out there, and man, he put on a show. I mean, he got after it. Awesome rider, gets the win. And so then. And that was just passing through's event. That wasn't an NE-EDT.
That was the Friday night Tennessee State shootout.
Yep. And so then Saturday, the race officials for the NE-EDT, they come over and they just said, hey, excuse me. They said that probably wasn't fair, and it's our discretion. And you can go read in the rules. And they said, hey, we're going to move him up to B because like that wasn't really fair. He's been riding a long time, and clearly he can ride very well. Bryce is a great rider. And so that's why he rode Open C, because they were like, hey, you got to start somewhere. And so then they moved him to B, and that was a NE-EDT call. Okay, so I know a lot of people in the live feed, and I tried to explain it in the live feed, and some were like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But just so you know, if you have any more questions, you know, hit us up on social media. We'll help point in the right direction. And so that's why the NET, they put out a release today saying, hey, this is what's going on, or today as in June 4th when we're recording this, saying, hey, this is the rules, this is what's going on. And I like how the NE-EDT does it. They want riders to go through a progression. They don't want you to just go from a super mini to pro class. You know?
Yeah, and they moved him up to the B class, and I think Dylan Jones is in there, correct?
Yeah, Dylan rides in that class too.
They had a really good battle. So, I mean, both of them guys could probably be in the A class, but at least there was some battling going on in the B class. You know? So, and that was probably the best move. Yeah, and it's the same thing for Dylan. He's 15. He's riding a 450. Yep. By the way, super cool for Dylan. He's riding a Carter Buff's old. It's not a Suzuki. It's a Walsh chassis. With a CRF engine in it, and he's like, dude, it's just I got to talk to him a little bit, man, and he was loving it. So anyway, Bryce got the win there on Friday night, followed by Knaus and Blankenhorn. Now Blankenhorn, he's an MX guy that's good friends with our teammate Joey Mickley, and I didn't even get to talk to Joey. I was here, there, everywhere, didn't even get a chance. So Joey, I'm sorry, I'll hit you up on social media. But he came over and rode one of Joey's quads and got third there in Open C. So shout out to him. First TT race coming out, putting it on the podium, pretty impressive. So super exciting for him. And man, Friday night was pretty sweet. It was awesome. I will say thank you to the Everly Trucking, and I think Maynard Trucking was the other sponsor. But dude, that's awesome to put $3,000 on the line. You know, like that's awesome. Yeah, and that's what. There's several really good, families and riders right there in that kind of that where Just Passing Through is. Yeah, I know Danny Walton. He's in the Tennessee area. He's a little bit of a drive from where the track is, but I know Carson Everly. He races there a lot. The Spivey, he races there a lot. Spivey races there. Taylor Underwood races there. The Scotts, yeah. Kyle Scott and what's his brother's name? Elijah, yeah.
I talked to Dodd, and he's like, man, Elijah's working, and his bike was there. He offered it to me. I did have a ride. You remember last time? I was like, oh, plus 25, I got to find a bike.
Man, you should have done it.
Dodd hit me up Saturday. He goes, dude, I had a bike for you. And I was like, oh, dude. I said, well, I was helping Eric, so. Appreciate everyone. Oh, and Travis White said, hey, you need a bike? And I was like, oh,
man.
I said, yeah, I do. I said, but no, I've already committed to hanging out with Eric. So, but anyways, Friday night was super fun. We had a great time, and I hope everybody enjoyed it as well. But then that led to rounds 1 and 2 of Just Passing Through, and there was a lot of excitement.
Absolutely.
Around this. It's the first round of the I got something in my throat. But it was the first round of the series, and also we got to see it showed up at the last Midwest
That's
round.
where I was going.
Mm-hmm.
How about the start bar? There's all this information around it, all the hype. We had Cody Houghton make Walsh built him one,
mm-hmm.
and then in come the Keisters with this sweet start bar build,
mm-hmm.
and debut it on the TT track. So tell me what you guys saw. Tell me what you thought about start bar.
Man, it was really cool. It was just so weird to watch it go around the track because you'd hear the quad noise go by, yon yon, and then just. And it's just like, what was that? Oh, it's Garrett. But it's almost like just an electric RC car coming through. It was so odd, but really cool to see it go around the track. I mean,
anytime I was standing beside you and we saw it go by,
yeah, we just looked at each other and just started laughing.
It's like, what's happening right now? But one of the things that was cool, and I just couldn't shake this, was I was like, if there's ever a rider or a place or something that's like, hey, we want to have this race thing come be a part of our place, but we don't like the noise, like I could see where this could have a place, man.
Right.
Because you could have like awesome racing and like no sound.
No sound. It'd be like a bunch of RC cars going around the track,
It was just, I couldn't stop laughing.
The only thing that you can hear is the tires.
That's
Go ahead.
That's so often a complaint of property owners is that, the noise that we bring with
mm-hmm.
the ATV riding and racing, it's obviously a big part of it. I mean, we have these loud machines with short pipes. So, maybe this does spark something new in our race world. Maybe this will allow, more tracks. Maybe this allows for more events if this is going to be a new thing that we do within the EDT racing world. Really cool, though, that they even had the idea because you got to think, we're used to the weight of these motors and how they flex and everything. So it's just going to be a whole different ballgame to try to figure out this thing, whatever we're going to call it, this start bar thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just got to be a total different dynamic. And we really need to get Garrett in on here soon and just really talk about as they develop this machine, the challenges and that they faced or the cool things that came along with it, because there's just a ton of hype around it for sure.
And he even said that. He said, man, we're still figuring this thing out. Like this is as much as it's new and it's cool, like, well, also it's new, like, and new brings challenges.
Yeah, it's new.
Absolutely.
I think, and I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. I think it's heavier, so the characteristics of the bike just are completely different. The throttle response is completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about it is completely different than a combustible engine.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool to see it, and I'm excited for what the future brings with it.
Yeah, some new challenges and some new opportunities, and Garrett and Steve are they're never one to back down from a challenge.
No.
So I think they are. I don't think the result isn't what it was, a 7-6 for Garrett in that open Pro-Am Open, and I think a 7-6. Well, they got a position better, So I think they're just going to keep kind of getting after it and figuring out and trying to figure out, hey, how do we keep making this thing better, And so I believe in those two guys, and I think they're going to do a great job and lean into it and make it happen.
I love it.
It's going to be good. So also big shout out to Keister wheels, man. They're looking good always. I know several guys are rocking them. Connor Cleveland, he was riding one of Nick Kisner's 350s for the weekend. Had some blue Keisters on. Oh, man, just looks so good. Light.
That bike did look good with blue wheels.
Did. Yeah, Nick's logo, his RY logo, has some blue and some red in it, and so the blue wheels, it's tough.
I think even the Kisners themselves said that it looked good.
Yeah.
So
they build a good machine. So Keister wheels, love them. Also, 110% nutrition. Make sure to use our code REMAIN at checkout. One of all of our friends, our man Bud, we refer to Bud on the podcast as Bud. He has a real name, but nobody calls him Bud. It's just Bud. But we went cross-country racing this weekend, and it's 2 weeks in a row that Bud, just after the race, he's like, man, I just don't feel good. And he texted me today, and he said, man, 100, like, this is from him. He said 110% is working because I'm not near as sore after the races when I make sure to drink it, the night after, the next day, helping his muscles out. It's got those amino acids in there, helping relieve some of that lactic acid. Is that correct, Mitch? That lactic acid that builds up. Is that fine? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Yes.
There you go. We'll get it eventually.
Been studying a little bit, okay?
Yeah. And so, big shout out to them for helping us out. And shout out to Bud for making that purchase and using our code. But let's jump into rounds 1 and 2, just passing through NE-EDT racing. I think right off the top, I want to jump into this Pro Light 250.
yes,
New class just came out. I mean, hang on, I got to see exactly how many guys are up in that thing because they had
there was quite a
great
bit
turnout.
Yeah,
like I was like, whoa, that's way more than I thought would be all up in here.
I think that class is awesome.
I mean, it is a brand new class, but you knew it was going to be stacked because there's a lot of hype around the class. When you add that Pro Light tag to it, that seems big. You put money on the line, that makes it seem bigger.
Yeah,
so
right.
I anticipated this being a really big class, and the man that's at the top, that's who I anticipated to be at the top.
Yeah. So
Trevin White.
Yeah, so he moved up. He's running the D-bore route in a couple of the other classes, but he's had a 250 for a while. So they bust it back out, shake the cobwebs off. He comes out, goes 1-1 on the weekend. Waylon Dial, they've got a new machine for him. Carson Everly, Dallas Martin, Vinny Bennett, Charlie Kerr. All these guys are all on new machine. Sorry, I can't talk tonight. And so, man, it was super cool. Ryder Goss got to meet his mom and dad and talk to him about some of the stuff that they're doing and their program. Duncan Hill came over. Mason, all these guys. Man, it was really cool to see them come out and all new equipment for these guys. But Waylon went 3-2 on the weekend. Carson Everly goes 2-3. Dallas Martin, man, hey, give it up to our boy. 4-4, pretty consistent.
Dallas
so
was riding really good. I watched those races. I had to make sure and tune into those. So he was rolling. He was looking really good.
Yeah, and I just for whatever reason, you just bump into parents and get to know them. So I got to talk to Carson's mom and dad a little bit, and their new build looks good. It's a cane brake tuned machine there, so Kenny's got his hands all up in that, making it happen. So, man, it was exciting, and there was good battles all over the place. It was exciting, man. I think I can't tip my hat enough to the NE-EDT crew for coming up with this class, giving these guys another option of a place to ride a machine for these younger guys, and it's super competitive. So I'm here for it.
Yeah, and
definitely a great idea, a great class, and some great racing on top of that.
Yes.
But hey, and Landon could probably speak into this. So, just kind of watching the live and then talking to people after. I know the track just had a lot of changes as far as the way it went. Like during the day, it was a little bit slick and dry and dusty, but then the moisture really came in and it was hooked up at night. So I guess that must have been a challenge all weekend to make sure and pay attention to the track and so that you could really hit the setup right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it definitely was. So, it's always just chasing the track, and, realistically trying to be a step ahead of the track. And So we figured out, Friday night that, hey, man, the moisture is going to come up. And even in that, because I raced Friday night in the plus 25 Tennessee State shootout, and it was almost like the track was almost greasy because so much moisture was coming up. But somebody actually pointed out to me and was like, hey, man, did you not notice there was dew falling everywhere? It was like all over the seats of everything, and, and I was like, man, hindsight's 2020, but I wish I would have noticed that. Yeah, exactly. And but the just passing through track, it really does promote great racing, I think. And even the outside option lane, it was hit or miss all weekend, and it just kind of wasn't exactly perfect. But even with that being, it still promoted great racing with the 180 turns and the berms and the fingers on the inside. I thought it was awesome.
One of the things that's crazy, Mitch, is the high speed was like 50 miles an hour.
Yeah.
54 something.
And you're not. That's what I'm saying. Is it promotes great racing, and I think it promotes who's a good rider. Not who's got the biggest motor, who's it's set up and who's a good rider.
Absolutely. And
that's what I like.
Yeah, it's a great kind of equalizer. I don't even know if it's an equalizer, but for some people it's really going to benefit, right?
Yeah.
And other guys, they're just going to struggle. They're going to fight. And we're going to get to a guy here in a little bit in some of the upper classes that I think struggled on day one and then put it together on day two.
Yep.
I'll keep that up the sleeve. But one of the things that's cool being a 2-day thing, and like you're saying, the heat races are all during the day. Track's dry, it's slick, it's dusty. And then at night, it's tackier, a little more greasy, no dust whatsoever, like you're saying. And so that's what I'm just scrolling through classes here. And usually your top 4 are going to be the same in a heat versus a main. But guys were winning heat races, and then they'd get 4th in the main.
Yeah.
Or guys would get 3rd in their heat race, but win the main. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you can kind of see how some of them were dialed in for the super slick stuff, and they're like, okay, we got it. And then the track changes at night, and it's like, oh, we weren't there, And the other guy didn't have it during the day, but had it not. It's awesome. It's a great place, a lot of fun, and it, like you say, Lane, it promotes a lot of really, really good racing. I'm here for it.
Love it.
Awesome. Well, the Pro Light 250 class was a hit. Let's move over to the Pro Light 450. Man, big shout out to Levi Hurley, dude. He was
on it all weekend.
I think he won both heats. He won both mains. He was everywhere, man. He was making it happen. Yeah, he won both of his heat races, both main events in the Pro Light 450 class. Also, he grabbed a 3rd in the Pro-Am Spec class on Saturday.
He did.
Levi's just storming onto the scene, really.
He is. It's Freddie's chicken legs.
Freddie's chicken legs, got it. Mm-hmm. Plus, the cross training in motocross doesn't hurt anything.
Probably more the chicken legs. But.
Yeah, I'm leaning more to the chicken legs there, but you might be right. Yeah, and they were when I was with Eric. Levi was pitted right below us, so Freddie, man, was just constantly fueling us up. Man, it was fantastic.
I did get to try one of those. Oh my goodness,
incredible! Right.
Wow.
But man, yeah, Levi, they've got a great program together. I mean, he's got a great group of dudes around him, making it happen. Had a good battle with him.
Yeah, I did.
Lando.
Yeah, we had a good battle, and I could tell I was holding him up, but man, I was just smoked by the end of it. And he come in there, and I mean, he kind of used me as a berm, but I was a little irritated at the time, but that's part of racing, I mean, I don't blame him one bit, but yeah, we had some words after, and he was like, "Hey man, no hard feelings." I was like, "No, we're good," but yeah, I mean, I was a little irritated. Don't get me wrong.
Like, hey man, we're all good, but you might, if I get the chance, you might get one back later on.
Yeah, I mean, and nobody.
Hey, he didn't like take you out.
No.
He did pass you aggressively.
Yeah, and like I said,
I saw it.
I don't blame him one bit. I mean, I was holding him up, and he, he was going to the front, but yeah,
he went to the front.
Yeah, he went to the front, no doubt.
Yeah. And that's what I tried to encourage Landon. I said, Levi's not a little guy. He's a sturdy fella.
No.
I don't know if I could back you up. Now, if I had enough Freddie chicken legs in me, I'd give her a good solid go. But no, but man, shout out Levi crushing it, man. And I think as he continues to grow and to develop, man, he's going to be a guy. I mean, the Pro-Am spec class, he gets third, And on the first day, let me pull up here what he got on the second day. Because I think it was still good. Yeah, he got fifth.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's racing and running with some really, really good top level pro guys.
I mean, that's the guys that are winning the pro class, and podium and in the pro class every week in, week out in both series. So that's a great ride.
It was a good time. So pro lot was Hurley, Flinchum, and Ryan Kisner on night one. And then Hurley, my man Williams, and there's old Derek again. He went 2-3 for the weekend. So, Derek, what a guy. Shout out Derek Flinchum, man. Keep it up, dude. We see you. We recognize. We know what you're doing out there. But how about Mitch, are you still there?
Mitch is gone.
Mitch is gone. Anyways, so I'm going to have to get Mitch back here, see if we can. Anyways, next, Youth All-Star, man. This is a class that if you've been listening to the pod for any time at all, we love the Youth All-Star class, the Super Mini class. Man, this is crazy. Listen to this. Round one, the top three were Braxton Buck, Burchett Martin. Round two, Everly Martin Bennett. So Dallas Martin was the only. I mean, just the results are all over the place, man. And I think that is awesome. Like, that's what it's about.
Yeah, that's what's fun about that 250 All-Star. I'm sorry, the Youth All-Star.
I know what you're saying.
Is that you never know who's going to win that class, and because I mean, there's 5, 6, 7 guys that could win at any given round. It's so cool.
It really is, man, and it's exciting to watch and see them be able to do what they're doing and make it happen. I mean, those are all guys, and even some of them are jumping up and running that. They could run that 200, 400 class. They can run that not on their All-Star because that's a 150 limit. But if they have multiple machines, you can see them. You could see like some of the guys really ace the Super Mini class and then be kind of down the order a little bit in that Pro Lot 250 class, which is great.
And I think a majority of them are. I know Braxton Buck was in the 250. I know Dallas Martin was, Carson Everly, Vinny Bennett. I know all them guys were in the 250 class as well. So that's really cool.
It is fun to watch and see those guys, and man, I'm excited. Hang on just a minute. I'm trying to get our boy Mitchell back on here, but anyways, man, the junior 12 to 15 class. Mitchell, you got us? You back?
Yeah, I'm back, baby.
Okay, sorry. We lost you, but we're back. We got a little background noise, but we'll make it happen here. Anyways, so we were talking about Youth All-Star class. You just want to shout out anybody in that Youth All-Star class there, man?
Dude, man, all the dudes got it going on in the Youth All-Star class.
Right on.
I mean, sorry, it is a little bit tough driving and looking down at the same time.
I didn't know you were driving. I thought you was riding.
We don't want to cause a wreck.
No, I'm in the driver's seat. Braxton Buck would have been up there. Did he have a little bit of bike problems at one point though?
Man, I don't remember. I don't know.
I thought I saw that Braxton in one of the races, and I didn't. They raced kind of multiple classes, but man, he was running so good, but then had a little bit of bike issues there. And then our boy Jackson Burchett and Dallas Martin, those dudes, we knew that it's time to get Burchett on basically, because this dude's got it going on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Burchett and Beasley. Beasley kind of struggled on the weekend, but they've got a new machine. He's figuring it out, and I don't doubt that him and Brandon aren't going to get that thing dialed in no time.
Oh, that's right. I mean, you're going to have a little bit of growing pains anytime that you switch to something new. And, they kind of revealed it to us last year when we had them on the pod that they were doing the new builds. And so we know he'll respond quickly. And him and Jackson continuing to compete against one another will elevate that, no doubt.
Yep, I agree. Well, our next class we kind of need, I wanted to jump into, kind of hitting all different groups of riders here, but that Collegeboy class is a fun one to watch too.
Yes.
Guam, Wilson, Burris, Wilson, Smith, Burris. I mean, these guys, some Midwest guys jumping over, Asher Buers making it happen. Man, it's a fun class to watch, and that was the one last year. Our man Joey was able to win that championship. So now that he's moved on, it's opened it up, and you can kind of see there's really 4 guys that can all win that class at any time, maybe even 5, So that's going to be exciting to watch as the season kind of rolls on, to see who kind of steps up in that arena, starts making some things happen. Because from Collegeboy, your next step is Pro-Am and Pro. So these are our next group of really high caliber pro racers, man. So
and good ride for Jack Smith. That's
100%.
an awesome ride. I think he was in the B classes last year.
I believe that's correct.
So that B to A, and I would consider the Collegeboy an A class.
Yeah, 100%.
That's a big jump,
Mm-hmm.
And I think they dipped him off in the Pro Light, A and Collegeboy. So good ride for Jack Smith.
Yeah, and the results are kind of all over the place there. Bailey Thomas was able to grab a 4th on day 1, 9th day 2. EP gets a 12th day 1, 17th day 1, and then a 4th the next day. Nick Keys, 14th day 1, 6th day 2. I mean, it's all over the place, and that's exciting to see, man. Like, I'm here for it.
So I hear this referenced a lot. Who is EP?
Eric.
Yes.
Yes.
Nick. Ooh, hang on. I'm gonna
can't pronounce his last name.
I'm gonna do
So it's
talk
just
to
EP.
tech.
For a reason.
Yeah, this is Eric. Eric
Gotcha.
did this.
Because
He
we
said it was
wanna
okay.
Butcher his last name.
Yeah. I'm gonna type it. Hang on here, and then I'm gonna do talk to tech so we can all get it. Just give me just a second. I'm gonna make this work. Hold tight.
And maybe I'm the only one that doesn't know, but I feel like there's somebody else out there that doesn't know. So
Sounds like we need to get EP on here and get a sound bite. So every time we go to say his name, then we can just play it.
just bam, there
All
he
right.
is.
Hang on. I'm working the computer here.
Eric Popolnikic.
Did you get that? Let me crank go. Hey, Mitch, mute your phone for just a second. Maybe.
I don't know.
Loose program.
Loose. All right, here we go. This is EP's name. Everybody listen.
Eric Popolnikic.
Popolnikic.
Sweet.
Hang on, one more time before you unmute there, just so we all know.
Eric Popolnikic.
There you go. That's EP. And I call him EP because Eric calls him EP. So Eric, if you don't like this, take it up with the other Eric.
Yeah, and like I said, I've heard Eric Ashcraft.
You've heard EP talk about
on the live stream, and he's like, EP here, and I'm like, who in the world is EP?
Who's EP?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That is good times. Well, hey, let's jump into the top of the top. Let's jump into that Pro-Am Hoosier Spectre class. And man, it was hot. I got a name to run by you guys. Have y'all ever heard of this guy? I think he's trash. He's kind of, he's not really friendly. Doesn't interact with the fans much or the amateur guys. CJ Robson. Anybody ever heard of him?
Nope, never heard of her.
Never heard of her.
Never heard. That's hilarious. No, dude. CJ is such a cool guy. More than happy to visit with any of the kids. I see kids coming. Hey, CJ. He'll talk. He'll visit with him. I know he's pretty close to the Everleys and Carson, and so man, just super cool for him. CJ went 1-1, 1-1, 1-1.
Yeah.
So
just continues doing what CJ does.
CJ does CJ things.
Absolutely.
And what's
CJ
fun?
makes passes where no one else can make passes.
Oh my goodness.
CJ goes extremely fast. CJ goes nuclear. CJ's on another level. He's on a different planet.
I'm telling you.
CJ is the man. I mean, what else can we say about CJ? Show up and show out. That's what he does.
Yeah, day one, round one, I believe it was the Spec Tire heat race. He was behind. I think Garrett was in the lead. I think he was in second, and Tyler King was in third. And they kind of somehow going around the bowl corner right there in front of us, where we were announcing from, he gets pushed high, and there's just enough gap to squeeze a four-wheeler through, and he just rockets down the berm right between them.
Yeah, threads the needle.
And after it's over, he walked by, and I just raised my eyebrows. He goes, "Whoo, that was a little tight, wasn't it?" And I said, "You made it work." He said, "Well, I guess they say rubbing's racing."
Yeah.
And I mean, he just zipped right through there, and I was like, "Whoa!" Even right after that, Dad texted me. He's like, "Did you just see that pass?" And I was like, "Yeah, Dad. It was. I was here, man. I saw it." But man, CJ just. I mean, he's running the number one for a reason, folks.
Absolutely.
That is absolutely right.
He is
But
making.
how about my boys, Tyler King and Jace White?
Yeah.
You know, those young guns that we've already seen them be up there a couple times last year.
Yep.
Really kind of turn it around and then just pop right off here at the beginning and have really good race with some really good finishes. And another highlight that I had was Damian and Tyler King, man. At one point, they were just going at it. I don't know for how many laps.
They were. It was great,
it
dude.
was fantastic. I mean, brothers just really duking it out.
Yeah,
I was loving it.
I think in the it was how they had taken the Joker lane. Maybe Damian had taken it early and Tyler was taking it late somehow, but they ended up just the results don't show because you're looking, you're like, well, they never really finished close to each other. But because of the Joker played a part in it. They raced probably half that race like just going at it.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And I think there was a couple races where they did that. This got tied up and then, you know, take the Joker at a different time.
And one thing that's cool to see about that is it's two brothers, you know, going at it, but on two, like, different machines. You know, both Element 44 is a big part of both those programs, but you've got the KTM powered of Damien versus the CRF power of Tyler. So, really cool to see that. Of course, Jace White, man, dude, he's a shark, dude. He's just sharking out there and making it happen, just doing shark things.
And both the White boys off that didn't sound good. Both of the Jace and Trevin White off of the jumps were just launching it, and I'm like, guys, let's calm down just a little bit. You're making me hurt.
Mm-hmm. However far everyone landed, both of them went 10 feet further.
Yeah, just flat land out in the no man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, Jace was doing that same thing at Pine Lake.
Oh,
He
yeah.
would be like, okay, these guys are over jumping it, but then Jace White was like acting like, hey, you don't need a landing. You know, it's like back to the old bicycle days when you start hitting a ramp. You know, you just flat land out there and, you know, just break your wrists.
Yeah, and I tried it one time, and it's definitely faster, but dude, these old wrists that are not in the best shape did not like it.
They were not having it, huh?
So don't do that again. So.
Yeah.
Please stop. We went and saw Mitch enough. We don't want to go back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's right.
But man, one of the guys I wanted to mention was Tyler Allen. So spec class, day 1, he gets a 9th, puts his head down, goes to work, gets a 3rd day 2. That's 6 positions better. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
To make up that much ground. And then he ends up getting 3rd again in the class the next day. So, is that right? No. He gets 3rd in both Pro-Am classes
on Sunday.
On Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I knew I'd get
and
that.
Those were scored off the heat races, so he got some great starts and had great finishes in the heat races. And because of the rain out component, then that's where he landed. Because they shifted those quite a few of those mains on the front end. So Pro was on the front end,
right?
But I know the Pro-Am classes. What happened? They were part of the rain out, so it was scored based on the heat races.
Gotcha. I think they got 1 in. I don't remember.
Out. Okay,
I think they got the spec
Pro
tire
class in.
Yep, for sure.
They get the spec tire.
For sure.
Because it was kind of at the front of it, catching the live. You're like, what race are they on? Because they took stuff out of the order. They just put quite a few there to the front side because I guess they were anticipating the rain coming in.
Yeah. Speaking of that, one clown across the table from me here, he's like, dude, I could see that rain coming. I was checking the radar. And so in the plus 25,
Yeah, plus 25.
Plus 25. He said on Sunday, he said, I could see the rain was coming. And he said, I got to the lead and I never let up. I just kept going. And so fastest heat means you win the race.
Yep.
So what's crazy? Hey,
winning is winning.
Hey, Dominic Toretto said it best in the 2000 box office hit Fast and Furious. It doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning is winning.
Or some may say by milliseconds or a mile.
Milliseconds or a mile. Winning is winning. That's right. Well, on to the pro class, the tip of the spear, as they say. I don't know. This guy, I mean, I think if I had a machine, I could have given him a run for his money. CJ Robson, I mean, what is he? Like,
should have got Jace's bike.
Well, I could have
offered.
had the number 2, the guy that finished second both days, got offered his machine to go try it. Let's see. There was 12. I would have finished 13th. So, no, thank you. But yeah, man, CJ, Jace jumps in the second spot both days. And then Tyler King. So, Jace, CJ and Tyler podiumed every race they were in all weekend. That's pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, 6 races on the podium, and of course CJ, dude, he's just next level. I mean, this jerky. I mean, he's on top of it. Damian went 4-4 both days. So, man, that's exciting to see. I know they've been putting a lot of time and a lot of work in. I know Nick Kisner was telling me, he's like, yeah, we went by Danny's to help out and ended up, helping out a lot. And so I know he's pretty involved with that program. So that was exciting for him to make it happen there. Man, a lot of good guys. One of the guys I did want to point out was the pro debut for our man Joey Mickley. He went 6-6 in the pro class. So
yeah,
you know what, Joey?
Not a bad debut.
That's not a bad debut, my man.
Not at all.
Not at all. Tip of the cap to the old Joey Mickley. So shout out to him. Another guy I kind of already talked about it, but man, Dylan Jones on. I saw him go by and I was like, that's not a Yamaha. And then I really got to paying attention. I said, that tank says something about buff on it. And so I caught him later, and I was like, so what's this machine we on? He's like, man, that's Carter's old machine. And I was like, well, that thing definitely knows how to go around the track.
So was it his old machine, or is it his machine?
I know it's the one that Carter raced last season.
Okay.
Okay. Is my understanding.
I gotcha.
Dylan, if I'm wrong, or Mom and Daddy Jones, if I'm wrong, let us know. But I believe,
I have no idea. So
I believe that is the case there. So. Again, man, Eric Ashcraft, such a cool dude. So Saturday, I'm supposed to lead EDT church. Totally forget about it. Just get wrapped up in, Friday night hoopla. We get there Saturday morning. I'm like, oh, dude. And Kevin Allen's like, we forgot to announce it. I said, I forgot to announce it. So I'll tell Eric, I said, man, I'm so sorry. He goes, no, I announced it. We're going to do it in the morning, and I'm going to do it. And I said, that's exactly what we planned. Yes, sir. And so I know Eric was kind of worried about his voice, but he made ED Church happen for us. So
he did.
Thank you, Mr. Ashcraft. As always, just making it happen, dude. What a guy. What a guy.
The guy does everything. The guy just does everything. Hey, Dan, as we kind of wrap up the racing talk, I want to talk a little bit of, something that doesn't get the spotlight maybe as often.
Yep.
I tried to make a little Instagram post, and Mr. Josh Klein kind of mentioned this to me as well, and I said, man, this is something really good that we ought to discuss. And how about those people on the sideline, moms and dads that just pour out all this time and have all the passion, for their family members, their kids out there racing. He sent me some really cool photos. But, just in recent days, with us in softball and just seeing the passion that a lot of these parents have for their kids' success, man, how about that? They just don't get enough recognition and all the sacrifice and all the things they do in running these kids and their family members or their husbands or their wives all around the country and sacrificing their time and their money and making this thing happen for them.
Yeah, man, it's super cool. And one of the things that I love is so many of the families, they've got like I remember I met the Geist family, and so been paying attention to Ryder and how he's been coming up, and so I saw him and I was talking to Travis White, and I said, hey, is that the Geist family? He's like, yeah. And so talk to them, and it's so cool just to visit, because I mean, moms and dads, when they're in, man.
Yeah.
And that's what Mama Geist was like. Yeah, man, we tried to get us a motor home where we could, if we're gonna do it, let's do it. And that's so cool to see, because you're, especially for young guys. I can't speak for the ladies, fun fact, because I'm not one, but I would assume it's the same. Maybe we should ask Bailey or Kelsey Bockenfield or some of the other ladies. But these like formative years of a kid's life, and I work with teenagers all the time. But that 12 to 16, 17, those are big years in a kid's life. And for so many of these families, getting to do it together on the road and to endure adversity, to celebrate victories, to have heartbreak and go through all that together as a family and in kind of a close quarters of a motorhome or a truck. Landon, we did it. Mitch, you did it too. Man, it means a lot. And so, yeah, I echo that as well, man. Just a big shout out to the moms and dads for making the sacrifice to give their kids a chance to do this wacko, weird sport that nobody else in the world understands, that we all love, man. It's crazy, but we love it.
Absolutely. I think we just, you and I, we acknowledge that, and you made some good points about how you and Landon and I all live that, and we see that. But not everyone sees that. They don't recognize. They just see the athlete and how the athlete succeeds, but not necessarily the people behind them that have gotten them to this point. Help them work through struggles and all these things, live life with them to make it happen for them. And just kind of paralleling that to our spiritual walk. Our Heavenly Father's the same way. We might not see him. He's not right here directly in front of us, but he's always working. He's working things for our good to help us live out that life the way that he's designed it. And we definitely can't neglect that relationship either.
Definitely.
I totally agree, man. And as I think back, you talk about just working in the backgrounds. I had no idea. If you would have told me when I was 14 years old, hey, man, do you know how much a set of tires cost? Nope. Do you know how much a gallon of race fuel costs? I don't have a clue, man.
Yeah.
Dad just works a lot and mom works a lot, and it just shows up, and I just go and ride it, And now on this side, as I'm doing that, I'm like, golly, man, this is insane. Why do we do this?
Yeah, how did my dad do this?
Yeah. But, like you're saying, Mitch, God is constantly, God is for us. He's not against us. He wants what's best for us. And so there's times that you just don't know, and things just show up, and you're like, oh, that's awesome. Man, that's God at work. And then there's other times you're like, man, God, I don't know what you're doing, but you could show up right now. And then you get, a week, a month, a year down the road, and you look back and you go, oh, so that's how that works, So, man, that's a great correlation, Mitch, and a great segue into what we're about here at Remain in the Race. Yes, we're about racing. Yes, we're about family, but ultimately we want to see our Heavenly Father and people make the decision to put Him first in their life and everything that they do, man. And so that's exciting to go to the track and to visit with families and to see that played out, man. It's really encouraging.
Absolutely. I had highlighted some verses that correlating that Matthew 7 verses 7 through 11, which basically say we as parents who are imperfect, we're all flawed people. We want the best for our kids. We try to do the best for them, but when we view that in light of our Heavenly Father who is perfect, how much more is He going to take care of us and do because He truly knows what is good for us.
Right.
So that's kind of the parallel that I wanted to paint there is, man, we want our children to succeed. We want our family members to succeed, but, we're flawed. We're imperfect people. So you need to remember that it's not your perfection that earns your relationship with God. It's simply acknowledging Him and coming to Him in that relationship that allows us to live a life the way He designed it.
Yeah, man, that is spot on, brother. That's what it's about. Because if it was a perfection deal, I'm out.
Yeah, none of us.
Yeah. Oops. Sorry, I'm not that. But I also recognize that, hey, man, I fail a lot, but thank goodness I serve a God that gives us a second chance,
Absolutely.
third chance, fourth chance, a fifth chance, and
way too many chances.
That's right.
More than we deserve.
Yeah. But man, rounds 1 and 2 were awesome. Exciting. Got to see a lot of good stuff.
Is he gone again? Nope, there he is.
No, he's still there. He's coming in and out. But so up next on the schedule, I believe, is the Midwest Series is headed to Wisconsin, Antigo.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, you ready to make that drive?
Not the drive, but I am excited about it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be.
And it's at the fairgrounds. It's not just go for it, right?
Yep. At the fairgrounds. I think it's Antigo Fairgrounds, maybe.
Sounds good to me.
I did see a post. I think Greg Kruger, I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah, Greg.
Is doing the track. And from what I see, it's going to be a big, fast track. So I'm excited for it, man. Let's get it.
I love it. Yes, it is June 20th and 21st. Friday night, Saturday. It's not a 2-day event.
Right.
Friday night, Saturday.
Yeah, so they'll have oval.
Mm-hmm.
And
Friday
then,
night. Yeah.
And then the.
Yeah. It is at
Langsdale, I think. No.
There's an L in there. L-A-N-G-L. Langled?
Yeah. What he said.
Travis, help me out. I don't know what this place is called. It's at the county fairgrounds in Antigo, Wisconsin. You'll figure it out. Go read the post yourself.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I don't have my if I'm Moses, I don't have my Aaron here to interpret my poor speech. Sorry. But yeah, go check them out. A lot of good stuff going on. It's gonna be next, and then after that, ding dong, fries are done. And then after that, the following weekend is Honda Hills, man, Thornville, Ohio, and I guess we can say it, Mitch, but we've booked plane tickets. We will see you at Honda Hills.
Absolutely.
You want to go?
Oh yes, I'm loading up.
I think that's the
Baby,
weekend after.
It is the next weekend after the Wisconsin race.
Wisconsin. Yeah, so just stay in Wisconsin and then just cruise down to Ohio.
Yeah.
I'm sure those are close.
Yeah, we'll see how that works.
Let me Google map that and just see exactly how far is Antigo, Wisconsin to Thornville, Ohio. I got it, guys. I got it. Any last thing y'all want to talk about? You want to hit on? You want to shout out? Anything going on in your life? Anything, fellas?
I think we can put a bow on it, fellas. That's a good episode.
So, I do have a cause for concern. We're an hour into it. I can get into it. Just because I am still annoyed, and I'm going to talk about it. By the way, speaking of which, if you're a handlebar guy, need some handlebars, Landon? Probably. You
not
probably
at,
do.
Not at this moment, but maybe if I have another wreck. Hey, we went through the whole Tennessee. I stayed on the bike the entire time. It's
Flawless. No
was
blowed up
awesome.
motors.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Great. It was awesome.
Magical. Phoenix Handlebars. Use our code RITR15. Sofa brand gear. Go check them out. RTRP at checkout to save. So listen to this, Mitchell. If you need to go, you can go. But I have a concern. Are you still there, or did you leave? You left, didn't you?
No, I'm still here.
All
I'm
right.
listening to your concerns.
All right. I have a concern. So, and this isn't anything, I would say this I did say it. So I'm just going to recap. I can't let this go. This past Saturday, and I know people are already turning off their radios, but just stick with me. For those of you that are here, just listen up. My son, Cooper, is one of the kindest, sweetest young men you'll ever meet. He hugs everybody. He's a big hugger. He's a big, he just is, okay? So he has been racing cross country on a TRX 90, bone stock. Now, I know some of you clowns out there have a, air quotes, stock 90, and let me just tell you, my stock 90 is what yours is before you did all the modifications to make it not so stock. Now, it looks stock, but we know good and well. But let me tell you, the number 20 machine of Cooper Hillian is bone stock. I mean, we're running pump gas in it, unless someone dumps MR12 in there. But it's stock, okay? So the end of 23, we run one cross-country race. We run the mini C class. He gets smoked, but he has a great time. So we come back 2024. They make some changes to the classes. Mini C now becomes a 50 class. Mini B is the 90 class. He runs it all season long. I think his best finish, he might have gotten a 5th, but I think his best finish was a 6th, 5th or 6th, something like that. Loves it, having the time of his life, okay? This year we come out, we start the season with a 5th. The next race, we get a 4th. The next race, we get a 3rd. Now, let me explain this 3rd place we got. He was in 6th place 90% of the race, okay? 5th place breaks down. That moves Cooper to 5th. 4th place breaks down. That moves Cooper to 4th. 3rd place machine catches on fire. They got it put out. Calm down. Cooper, by default, gets 3rd. But, dude, my little man is pumped. He got 3rd place.
Yeah.
It was awesome, dude. He gets to stand on the podium, gets a trophy, living it. I'm pumped for him, too, but I also understand what's happening here, okay? He got 3rd because the other ones broke down. Hey, it's not my fault you don't do maintenance on your machine.
You got to finish.
You got to do the laps, right? You got to remain in the race. See what
That's
I did?
right.
See what I did
That's
there?
right.
So we go to the race this past weekend. Landon was there. Great job. Not on goggles, but everything else, great job. We'll get there. During the race, Dad motions for me, and he goes, hey, they need to see you up in the scoring tent. I said, okay, well, I'll finish the race, go up there. So anyways, after the race, I go up there and I'm talking, and they say, hey, Cooper has been disqualified because his TRX 90 has a shifter. And I said, yeah, all TRX 90s have a shifter.
They all do.
And they said, well, to run in this class, he cannot have a shifter. And you can go read in the rules. You can go look it up right now. It's 90 cc's is the limit. No clutch, no shifter. And I said, but we ran this class all last year. Wasn't a problem. You know, we've run this class the first 3 races of the season. Wasn't a problem. But he gets on the podium, and now it's a problem. And he's like, and the race director guy, he goes, well, he has 4 forward gears. And I said, man, and it's one of those things, if you've ever been in this situation, parents, you know, because it's like they're personally attacking your kid, you know. And I had to be like, man, I'm not upset with you, but someone has brought it to your attention that he has this 90. I said, you've seen us we've been doing this race thing for years. I said, you've seen this machine, and it's never been a problem. And now all of a sudden it's a problem. Until he does good, and then it's a problem. I said, you can go look at the lap times. You can go look at everything. Like, Cooper is a mini B rider. Like, that's where he's competitive. And the only reason he got a 3rd is because 2 machines broke down and 1 caught on fire. Now, do you have to do the laps? Absolutely. Cooper, tortoise in the hare situation. He does the laps, he gets third. And they say, okay, well, to keep going on that machine, he's either going to have to move to this other class for older kids, or he can stay where he's at, but we won't score him higher than 4th. And I'm like, well, I don't really like either of those options. And so, anyways, I said, but whatever happened today happened. And like stands. And they go, yep, wherever he finishes today, that stands. I said, okay, good. Which was great because you were talking about the family thing and the thing in the background. Well, Emily was at the races. Campbell was at the races. Her parents were there. My parents were there. Landon and his dad and brother were there. I mean, we had all of our peoples were there, which was super cool because that's what racing's about.
Yeah.
You want to celebrate it with your friends. So Cooper got on the podium again, and several other machines. It's pretty muddy out there, got stuck or broke down, and Cooper just took his time, picked the right line, and went around. And so at first, I wanted to be like super mad and cranky, and I thought, no. It, like just you can kick and scream and argue. It's not going to solve anything, right? And so Sunday night, Emily and I sat down. We wrote up a letter and just said, hey, we understand like this is against the rules to have a shifter. We understand that. Like the motor size is legal. And the other 90 automatics, if they were to race a TRX 90 shifter in a drag race, unless you want to drag race for like a mile, the automatics are gonna probably gonna win, and so we sat down, we wrote up just a letter and just said, hey, like instead of like penalizing him, what if we'll get him, like leave his points and everything where it is, and we'll just get him the correct machine, So I will report back at the next pod, what they said. We wrote him a nice letter, not trying to be a jerk, just said, hey, this is the situation. Like Cooper's competitive here. His lap times fit this class. He's not gonna be competitive here, and so stay tuned. We'll let you know what happens with that. But it's one of those things. Like for all of you out there, if you ever find yourself in this situation, if you have kids, maybe and we weren't trying to cheat. We had a TRX 90, and they're like at the beginning of the season, it was like, yeah, man, run it. But then he did good, and it was like, oh boy, we can't do that, and so it was kind of frustrating. But I just thought, hey, it's okay. Let's write a nice letter. Let's be polite and just say, hey, let's keep his points. Let's keep his results in that class. We'll get a different machine, and he can finish the last 4 races on that. So, I guess the reason I'm telling that story is, one, I really wanted to handle it like the wrong way, and then I was like, that's not the right thing to do. And so I feel like we're doing the right thing. And if they say no, I don't know what we'll do. We'll figure something else out.
You're going to double down, and you're going to buy him a new machine.
Probably.
Well, I think the positive and the right thing that you did is, naturally, if we get attacked in something and we feel like, well, hey, y'all said one thing and now you're changing your mind on something, like we want to react to that, right? We want to, we want to jab back, right? Somebody just threw a punch at us, basically,
right?
But kind of taking the high road, giving yourself a little time, writing a letter instead of just reacting. Mm-hmm. I think that's just a good way to approach life in general, really. We're going to face conflict, controversy at times, and we got to choose how we're going to respond.
Right. Yeah. And that's one of the things too. Like I know, like Cooper's watching in the background, and so I'm like, man, I want to set a good example for him. And so last night we were talking about it, and he's like, so Dad, what happened? And so I was able to explain, and I said, now here's what me and Mom did. Like that whole thing, like we're kind of working in the background for you, buddy, like to help you. And he's like, oh, that's really nice. Can we have a milkshake? So anyways,
do we have time for one more concern?
Oh yeah. By the way, it's 10.5 hours from Antigo to Thornville, but go ahead.
Okay. So you kind of mentioned this with the goggles.
Yeah. So, yeah, we got a concern.
So look here, buddy. So I had 2 men that I was responsible for, you and Tal. Tal asked me to...
Local cross-country race. Landon came with his dad and brother. Brother raced, and so Landon, just by fault, you get to be the pit guy.
Yeah, I get to be the pit guy.
Right.
So I'm responsible for fuel for Tal and water, goggles for both, I guess.
Snacks.
Yes, snacks and everything else.
All the things, right.
So I had some incredible water handoffs.
Oh,
I thought,
100% dialed.
and I even got your tie rod back on.
You did. Thank you.
And Mitch, if you're still listening, this guy cannot, like, I'm trying to help him put on goggles, and he doesn't help me whatsoever. like I'm usually the one doing the racing, and
Right.
I don't know how to put on goggles on somebody, and I put them on, like, kind of, he takes them off, and I kind of like shove them in his face, try to get the strap over, and he just looks at me, and they're crooked as all can be, you know, and I'm like, you don't think you could fix that, like, after you take off? No help whatsoever.
Well, I was thinking, I'm like, okay, I see other guys do this, and basically I can get a drink or do whatever with my hands, and I'll take my goggles off, and then when I pull up, Landon will just put the other ones on my face and then just pull the strap down. Well, I don't know what you're doing, man.
It all sounds good in theory, but
That's a good
it's a
point.
little harder.
We did not practice this at all, but
No.
one time Landon's yelling at me, go, 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 and I look up and the goggles are half on my face, half up the helmet, and he's like, well, fix them, and I'm like, my hands are muddy, you know, you're supposed to do this. So, oh man, we had a good laugh about it, but yeah, definitely a concern. We will
it's
work
definitely
on
a
that.
concern, but we're gonna have some pit stops in the backyard here soon, so we'll get it right.
Yeah,
Or maybe I can just start racing cross country again.
that is true. I have a frame in my shop.
and I don't have to worry about giving you goggles.
Yeah, get your own goggles, man. What's funny is I was telling Emily, I said, hey, man, can you just be right here with my bottles? And she goes, yeah, I'll get Landon to do it. That makes me nervous. And then I was just like, okay, here we go. But, hey, man, it was a good time. Any weekend at the races with your buddy is okay. Like, for example, I got a terrible start. Bike didn't start like it was supposed to. Kind of snuck under some guys' first turn. I think I was third going into the woods, I think.
Yeah, I think he was second coming into the second corner where I was standing there.
Felt good.
I think I got a video.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
what are we doing with our
I
life?
meant to send it to you, but
Yeah,
you know.
I know how it is. Yeah, you're still mad about the goggles.
Yeah.
Anyways, get going. Really, I was riding good, felt good. Slid off in a mud hole because it was kind of an off camber, and one guy got around me, and I think coming through the first check, no goggles, no water, first lap. You know, you were cheering me on, go, go, go. And then it just all went south. Got hooked up with our friend Bud. Bud was out there racing, making it happen, and I was behind him, and I went to turn to the right, and the four-wheeler just went straight, and I just took off through the woods, and I'm like, what in the world? And if this has happened to anyone else before, please let me know. But I run the LTR front end, so therefore I run Yamaha tie rod ends. OEM, Yamaha tie rods in. I had the threads on the tie rod end strip off.
Yeah.
And the tie rod just popped out. And I'm like, what in the world? And I thought I had Carter keys in the bottom. I know I did. So maybe it broke. I don't know what happened there. I got to do some research, figure out what's going on there. So anyways, limp it back to the truck. I pull in and Landon's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, stupid fool. There's bro. You know, I'm upset with the whole Cooper thing. And then I'm mad about, the tire rod falling off. And so Landon and his dad just jam a nut on there. I'm like, I need to go out. And let me tell you, I rode as fast and as hard as I've ever rode for a 36-year-old washed up nobody from nowhere could ride.
Yeah, and I just cross-threaded the fool out of that bolt.
Oh, 100%.
Or the nut. And, yeah, I don't know if you've got it off yet.
I hadn't even tried. I've
You're
washed it.
Probably going to cut it off.
Probably. And I went out there, Mitch, and I was like, I know for a fact I just rode the fastest. Like, there is no one here today that rode a lap faster than I did. Like, there's no possible way you could go through the sand because it was super sandy we were at, or hit the ruts. I mean, I nailed a perfect lap as fast as I could go. I was 48 seconds off the leader's fastest lap.
You're under a minute.
And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Now, granted, Kyle is 20, 21 years old, early 20s. He races every weekend.
Sometimes both days.
Sometimes both days. I mean, he rides a lot, and I was just like, like, it was just, I just felt like I got punched and punched and punched. I was like, are you kidding me? So, and to top it off, I get to church Sunday. Now, on Sunday mornings, guys, I'm going to be honest. I run through the little coffee shop here, and I get me a fancy coffee, okay? I get that white chocolate mocha.
Ooh.
You know, basic white girl coffee, okay? And I got my coffee. I walk in. It's just me and one of our other staff guys. And so I got here early just to help, you know, make sure everything's ready to go for Sunday. That's just what I do. I was explaining to Travis White. He goes, so what is your job? And I was explaining it to him. And then he goes, so what is your job? I was thinking about that all Sunday morning. Travis going, so what do you actually do? And I'm like, what do I actually do? Anyways, I go to set my cup down, hot, fresh, set it down on the desk. And I set it down on the edge of the cup. And I panicked, and I went to grab it. And when I did, all the momentum and grabbing the cup, the lid pops off, and coffee explodes everywhere. On top of that, one of my drawer, right by where the coffee cup was open about a centimeter. And so the coffee that lands on the desk just starts running in the drawer. And I just took my backpack off. I threw it on the little chair in my office, and I just put my head down, and I just walked and found a mop, and I don't think I talked to anybody all day. Like, what are we doing, man? But anyways, I did wake up Monday morning, and I put down a hard 23 miles on the road bike, and it felt good. It felt real good. So anyways, it's going to be good. We got a lot of good racing coming up. We're just getting started in the season, and man, it's going to be an awesome, awesome, awome season. If 2 weekends ago was a sign of what's to come, we got it.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a good one.
It's going to be spicy. But hey, we're a minute 16 in. I'm always like, oh boy, I hope we can get to an hour. Well, we did it.
A minute 16, hour 16.
Here we go. It's starting all over again. Yep. An hour 16 in. Mitch, close us out, man.
All right, Father God, thank you for loving us and leading us, God. We thank you that you work in the background, God, and you work things for our good, God. I pray that we'll just acknowledge you in our lives, God. We'll follow you and just commit ourselves to you, Lord. I pray you continue to keep us safe and all the racers and as they travel, and just continue to use us to shine your light. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Hey, that's episode 62. Thanks, 62.
66.
Episode 66. We'll catch you in the next one.